They shipped me out to war. I went to war.
They sent him to war.
In the abroad, European abroad.
They sent him to Chernobyl.
The Black Sea.
The black side.
The blackest of the sea. Crimea.
Well, Crimea. You don't have anything ready.
I don't even.
Welcome
I
To
don't
the
have
three
what to say.
quarters.
podcast.
I don't have what to do.
Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the
see?
deal.
Yeah.
Hey,
Try and make him how he does it.
I can do it. I can do
Nobody
it.
can be me. Nobody can be
It'd
me.
be like, wait. Yeah, the club.
Oh yeah. You have to give the editor where to start. Just
Welcome to the 3 Quarter Podcast. You know what it is?
You know what the vibe.
You know what the vibes is?
You didn't add the nonsensical, stupid,
song?
stupid song.
I'm not
that you
I'm
put
not going to
before
try
it.
it.
Listen, the songs are what gives it
I'm
the
not going to
ginger.
try it.
I mean, last week was Valentine's. This week is Super Bowl. I don't know.
Super Bowl.
I don't know the Super Bowl. I mean, Rihanna.
Tell me, rude boy.
Are you a rude boy?
Maybe.
Okay. It is what it is.
I mean, at this point, we're recording early, so we haven't really. I'll let you know after the was it 2 weeks after Valentine's. Now I'll let you know.
If you're a rude boy.
There is a pregnancy.
Wow,
Gigi.
God punish all of
A
you.
You know, I saw-
pregnancy.
God punish all of
A
you.
pregnancy is coming.
Your life in Jesus' name.
I saw
Return to sender.
I saw a post where they said if you're on your period now, just know that on this 14th.
Oh yeah, it was if your
You'll
period
be
came like
ovulating.
I saw it.
So that-
I saw it.
You'll be vibrating.
Vibration.
You'll be shaking.
What's that chunk song? Vibranium. Be vi-
No,
No, that one.
That's
Nigerian. Chunks.
I don't know the chunk song.
Ah,
though.
you don't know the chunk song?
No, I
I
don't.
don't know. Is it the one with Young Philly?
No. Anyway.
Anyway,
I know.
Listen.
I know another kind of vibration, Sharp.
vibration.
Uh-huh.
I see what you do. Don't know what you do.
She's gonna see what you're doing.
Wow.
And you're gonna see what she's doing too.
Lelele.
But we're not
And
going to
then
see
Bele.
what they're doing.
God punish you.
And then we'll see the end results.
Listen, you will not see the end result. In Jesus'
Just imagine. No, I'm gonna put a baby with that Jiro's head on top. That's what's coming. That's what's coming.
Name. Why am I
We have decided the thumbnail.
The beautiful part is because he's editing. That's why he's doing all this nonsense. Here.
Yeah.
What nonsense?
When you have power.
Listen, because knowing him, he's probably put the baby's head somewhere here.
They already put your head on whose head? Whose body did you put his head on? What's that? What's
Terry
that?
Crews.
Terry Crews.
It's not Terry Crews, but he's another buff guy like this.
Don't
worry.
worry. Just
Is it with Giga Chad? Giga Chad.
Enjoy the nonsense.
We should
baby
make
picture that's here.
you know those bubbly heads. We should make one of his head.
Low-key, that might be our merch. Make a bubble head of all of us. The three-quarter bubble.
But Ejiro is always making himself into a caricature. Last week it was Kenny.
from South
He
Park.
wasn't
South
good-
Park,
you
yeah.
are Kenny.
What
So
are you
it's not-
today?
It's not my fault. It's your
Today I'm
fault.
just a ruffian.
Not even try with the hair.
Barbers are... Let's talk about it. Barbers are bastards.
No,
We
first of all,
love them.
To be honest,
We love them.
How I don't.
But
I
they're
hope.
bastards.
I hope he's not dead in a ditch somewhere. Hopefully, I hope he's not in jail. But how come the week of Valentine's is the week
It's
that
the week they
you
all
want to
decide
just
to
disappear?
disappear.
When my hair is looking like
they have their own plans. I went to my barber today, and he was telling people, "Oh, can you come back at 5 p.m.?" I'm like, "Thank God I came when I came, because I can't."
Come back what? Come back for what?
back
Listen,
where?
I've texted this man. He ignored me. I called the shop. The phone rang. Went to voicemail. At this point, I think he hates me.
He hates you. What did you cheated on him?
I didn't cheat. Though. I
your
mean,
fault.
that's one thing I would.
you're a cheater.
Uh-huh.
You're a dirty
What do
cheater.
you know what to do? Persecute
Persecuted.
him. Persecute him.
Persecuted.
I was about to say something I would have got me caught up, but thank God for God, I caught myself. But
No, say it with your chest.
Say with your chest.
there are two things I won't cheat on in this life: my girlfriend and my barber.
Are
Which
you
one is first?
under duress?
Which one is first?
on-
Which one is first?
Girlfriend, of course. The barber can get cheated on because
feel like-
there are certain times. There are certain times. There are some drastic measures that have to be taken.
You know what I'm gonna
Do
do?
you want him to cast you?
Go ahead.
Will you cheat on your taxes?
Yes. Fuck the government.
Wow. Fuck the government.
But you know what I'm gonna do for him? I'm gonna get him a female barber.
She wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
If you see the female barber that
I'm going to
I've
get you
seen-
a
Except you're
female
looking
barber with Nyash.
Except you're looking at those that female barber shop where the guy was cutting his hair and they were all twerking around him.
That's
And he was just getting a line up.
You have what's it called? You have the Key and Pio sweat, one piece of sweat dripping down your face.
that's only if you do. If that's only if you go there with your girl now.
Your girl will be, no, you look out the window and she'll
She'll just be there.
She'll be there.
with her binoculars.
Nah, just
I'm
eyeing
watching
you
you.
from one side.
I hate the
But-
wait that you have to wait for your
barber-
turn.
Bro, the most annoying thing is when you like have an appointment at like 3:30 and you get there on time and they tell you, oh my bad, bro, I got like 3 heads in front of me.
what?
Your father.
Your actual father, your
Lit-
biological
like,
father.
Bro,
Your
why-
biological father.
because why did I even book the appointment in the first place?
Yeah.
Another thing that pisses me off is I wait for you to finish with someone's head. It takes an hour, and then mine takes like 20 minutes. Why?
Wait, there's even this one where right before it's your turn, that's when he decides he wants to go and eat. Hey, bro, my bad, dog.
Relax now.
I've been sitting here this whole time. I've been standing
No,
all day.
no,
Can I
no.
just get something quick to eat?
The ones that don't even tell you anything. He'll tell you to sit down. He'll put the rope, the thing around your neck. Put the paper. He'll get you ready. Or maybe then he'll walk off. Or he'll give you that one. Do the beginning, so he can't even walk off.
You can't leave. You can't
even
storm
leave.
out.
He can't even leave. And then he'll go to the back of the barber shop.
Listen,
start
man,
doing rubbish.
man,
Start doing his taxes.
The barber shop is fun. The barber shop is
in the
fun.
world.
The barber shop is fun, but man, we suffer. We suffer at the hands of barbers.
I
because
love-
they know when somebody else has touched your hair.
Oh, they know.
They absolutely
They know when you've touched your hair.
That's also true. I've gone at the days where I like practice or try to line myself up to go out in public. If I don't see my barber, nothing is touching my hair.
on.
Because while reaching that age where you make a mistake, it might not grow back.
Yeah.
My hairline is intact, though.
As you can see, my hairline and the hair
is
intact.
You know.
So-
Oba, remove your hat.
I'm wearing a wig. As you can see, I'm wearing a wig.
Oba, remove your
My own
hat.
has actually gone better. I've been using different things.
different oils.
You know, this reminds me of something. I've been wanting to come for you since your father returned, and I've been forgetting.
What?
Your father went to Nigeria for what, 2 months? Full beard. Oba, what is going on with your
Chill.
beard?
Chill. You
Oba.
will not make it out of this place alive. You will not make it out of this place alive.
Oba,
Ejiro,
Wow!
don't laugh too hard. Ejiro, don't laugh too
I
hard.
already know I can't grow one.
Because your own has not grown past my
I
own.
can't grow one. It's okay. I will take it as it is.
hey, like a comment for beard gang.
You're the only one here.
Like a comment for me.
I will take it as it is. I don't have to have beard. It's all right. God will help me.
Violence.
You are a... They said I should not swear anymore.
Don't
I'm
swear,
still a
Oba.
fine boy.
But think
so
of the worst
no
swear
wahala.
words that I've called you in the past.
No, but answer my
That's
question.
what you are right
answer
now.
my question, though.
Genetics
months.
now.
Okay,
This man is old.
We're not
And you are
even-
young.
we're
This
not-
man is old.
we're
He's
not gonna
had
talk-
time to
Your
grow.
genes are
Which
still
one is-
active.
which
His
one
genes
is-
are dormant.
which one
But
is time
okay,
to grow?
wait.
Let's be real. The beard is
The
patchy.
one that I have now,
It's still
It's
better than
patchy.
his beard.
that's fine. But the one that I have now, is it the one that I had 2 years ago? So it's
So
just growing
2
slowly.
months, 2 years.
If
He's
you break
growing.
his
He's
hand
growing.
again, I won't query you.
You know what,
No,
guys? It's okay.
I will query
I've
you.
Shebi,
started.
there's a parking lot, Shebi. There's
Just-
what they call curb.
Curb. Just
Just put your teeth on it.
First of all,
That beard, hey, you wake up, you will not be there.
Listen, don't worry.
Your
When-
whole chin self will not be
the
there.
next episode when Sharon shows up with patches in his beard, you
If you don't
understand-
see me-
you know what happened.
that's all.
It's
know
not
what
just
happened.
me.
That's all.
But so with this episode, we just what? So this episode is coming out after Super Bowl, and thank God the Chiefs won. I'm putting it out there now. If I'm wrong,
Wait, who's gonna
Chiefs.
win? Who's gonna win?
I think the Chiefs have
To be
won.
honest, I have to agree with you.
I think the Chiefs have won.
I have to agree with
I
you.
think the Eagles are gonna win.
But here's why I'm saying the Eagles might pull it off.
You can't pick two. First.
I'm not picking two. I think
Truthfully,
I think the Chiefs will
I'm
do
a
it.
Chiefs
Yeah.
fan. I'm a Chiefs fan, but
I am
because you
too.
guys have chosen them, now I
Yeah.
can't choose
The
them.
reason why I think the Eagles might pull it off is one thing.
Okay.
There was a recent news outlet coming out saying that a lot of Kansas City Chiefs players are sick.
Huh.
There's like this bug going around.
Not COVID.
It's not
Hey,
COVID. Like
sorry,
it's
oh.
just like cold or flu or something. But all of them are for some reason now sick.
That's crazy.
So that might be the only reason. But if the Chiefs play healthy, yeah, they're going
Oh,
to
yeah.
smack.
Then
They're
we'll
gonna
see,
smack.
Sha.
Very interesting.
But
was-
shout out to the Kelsey brothers though. The
You,
first
you
two
ruined my
brothers-
bet. Though.
I didn't ruin your bet.
So what I was gonna do, hopefully, I was hoping to do this. I was hoping you guys would choose the Eagles.
The Eagles,
And if you guys choose the Eagles, I would choose my team,
the Chiefs.
the Chiefs, which has been my team forever. And then we'll do a bet where if the Eagles win, I will have to wear a Man United jersey for an episode. And if the Chiefs win, you both have to wear Chelsea jerseys.
Okay,
and
let's
not
take
only
that bet.
and not only do you have to wear it, you have to buy with your own stinking money.
We'll take that bet. I'll bet that the Eagles will win.
You bet the Eagles win.
I'll bet the Eagles will win. I'll
Okay.
take that bet. Because seeing you in a Man U jersey is an opportunity I cannot pass up.
I love that, but I don't hate this as much as I love that.
So Sharon's not taking any bet.
I mean, middle
I'm
man.
taking the
No,
bet.
no,
Yeah?
no, no,
I'm
no,
taking
no,
the
no.
bet. I am taking the
So-
bet.
Sharon, you cannot be in the middle.
I have to be middle.
You cannot be in the middle.
I'm
be in the
taking
middle.
bet. I'm taking
He
the
wants
bet.
to take the bet.
taking
Don't
the bet.
take away this opportunity from him.
I'm taking the
So you will wear a Man U jersey.
Yeah.
And I have to buy with my own
and
money.
you have to buy with your money.
Yeah.
Actually,
Ejiro.
you have to put your name on the back.
Hey.
Yes, you have to own it.
Own it.
Own it.
Put your
Okay.
name on the back.
No problem.
And if I lose, I'll do the same thing.
You do the same thing.
Yep.
And you wear it not only to this podcast, you also wear it to church.
That's fine.
Oh.
Remember that too.
I was about to.
The same thing is happening to you
Not church on Saturday or on
on
Sunday.
Sunday. On a Sunday after church.
Because
after church has like ended.
You
they
come
are
and
gonna say
parade
the grace.
yourself in front.
You will unlock the whatever you are wearing. The hoodie you are wearing, you will take it off. I must have that shirt on. If I'm leading praise and worship, I'll lead in a Chelsea jersey.
You lead praise and worship in the
That's how
church.
confident I am.
This guy's, but you were just saying the Chiefs will win.
He's confident.
This bet now is different. It changed the circumstance.
Omo.
The second
Check on it. The circumstance.
Matter how the circumstance, circumstances. No matter what the circumstance is, no matter how the circumstances, circumstances.
Okay.
Shake on it. Shake on it. Shake on it.
Shake.
Which camera are we
Thank
in?
you.
Just look into
Don't
any
look
camera.
into
Look into my
anyone.
camera. You are not showing
Yes.
any of the cameras.
Yes.
This is where it's happening. You hear the
It's
essence.
okay.
I was like, which camera are we looking at?
It's okay. Don't worry. We're shaking on it.
Ejiro.
You have 1,000 witnesses.
You're in trouble.
I mean, if I have to wear it that way, it's a Chelsea jersey. It's
Yeah,
not a
in
problem.
trouble.
But it won't pain me as much to
That's
wear
what
a
I'm
Chelsea
saying.
jersey.
Because it's not us. It's not Liverpool. It's not City.
Exactly.
But you.
If you had said Man City, I would
It's
have
too
said
late,
fuck
though.
you.
Let me
Don't.
If you had said Man City, I would have said fuck you.
No,
Shaking on
he's
it.
late.
It's no problem.
He's late.
No problem.
No, wait.
No.
I think I want to make it sweeter.
Yeah, changing the.
No. I'll make it worthwhile for you.
What is it?
I'll make it worthwhile
What
for
is
you.
it?
You have to wear a Steven Gerrard Liverpool jersey.
No.
And I will wear a
Nope.
Thierry Henry Arsenal jersey.
Nope.
I feel like throwing up in my mouth. Steven Gerrard, I want to throw up.
Nope.
Why are you scared?
You've already shook on
Why are you
I can
scared?
say devil for devil.
Why are you
Blue
scared?
devil, red devil. I
Why are
can't
you
do that
scared?
one.
I'm wearing Arsenal jersey.
That's sorry. That-
Arsenal. ASNA.
That's it.
Arsenal. No. ASS. ASSNA. Arsenal.
That's a good one.
And you can't wear Liverpool.
Nope.
Stevie G.
Sorry.
Stevie G.
Sorry.
Captain, what do they call him?
I'm not wearing
Captain
that
Slippy.
Captain Shithead.
I'm not wearing that one.
Captain Slip and Fall.
Anyway, but now I'm changing my parole.
Yeah.
The Eagles will win.
Are you still on Eagles?
I'm feeling it's going to get that.
I'm,
this will be
no,
their
no,
what?
that one's an
This
Eagles.
will be
You
their
are
what? First
Chiefs.
or second or third Super Bowl.
Who, Eagles?
That would be their.
This will be their second because they're going back to
I
back.
think it's
Eagles?
going to it or winning it.
Or they're going to win it back to back.
No,
Then
they didn't win last
they
year.
won before the
They
Bucks.
won last
They won the
2
year
years.
before. Then the Bucks won. Then it was
The
them.
Eagles?
Yeah.
The Eagles haven't won since like
No, it was
No.
2 years ago they
They
won.
just won one 2 years ago before Tom Brady won with the Buccaneers.
That was like 5 years. Nick Foles won it. That was like 5 years ago.
Jalen Ramsey,
They-
what's it called? Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl ring.
Check.
You're smoking.
Google.
You're smoking
They won like 3 years ago. They won it very recently.
with
I
Nick
swear.
Foles.
No.
Okay.
Look, it's right there. Last Super Bowl win, 20. What's that?
That's this one.
That's this one.
No. It's
2018.
18.
Yeah, that was
that
5 years
long
ago. 5 years ago, Nick Foles was the quarterback.
COVID has stolen.
I should have bets.
COVID has stolen like time.
Stolen the year.
He has stolen the years.
This was a Super Bowl that Kevin Hart tried to run on the field.
Is that the same one?
That was 2018.
It cannot be.
I should have stolen
It
your
can't
money.
be.
It's not possible.
I should have stolen your money. That's what I should have done.
No, wait.
No
Go
way.
to the list of Super Bowl winners. I want to make sure. Just type Super Bowl winners for the last 10 years.
What? Because I know the Bucks won it either last year. No, the Rams won it last year.
Rams won last
The Bucks won it before them. Or did the
Wait,
Rams
click.
win back to back? See?
Hold on. Go all the way down. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Rams.
Rams,
Philadelphia
Tampa.
Eagles against New England.
Oh, wow.
Yay.
This was 2018. Nick Foles was the quarterback. Final score.
5 years ago.
Nick Foles. See? Don't doubt me. I know ball.
No.
I know ball.
First of all, you are irrelevant right now.
Who is the relevant?
COVID is relevant.
COVID is the relevancy
Shut
here.
up.
Because
There wasn't a
Did
Super
they-
Bowl in 2020.
There was. There was a Super Bowl every
There was a
year.
Super
You
Bowl
people
every
don't know
year.
ball.
Oh,
That's
right,
it.
because COVID came in March of 2020.
Just say you
2020.
don't know ball. Simple. You don't know ball.
So the actual topic of the day before we even get super sidetracked, because we've talked about everything.
what
under
is
the
the
sun.
topic at this
The
point?
topic of the day, so since we have passed Valentine, this topic is courtesy of the Honest Bunch and Organedu Wazobia and all of them, husband material,
Their little podcast.
their little podcast.
Who is that?
You don't know what to do.
Nedu? No.
That's-
Auntie Nkechi, the short guy.
Short. Why is that? Anyway,
Anyway,
you don't. Okay.
the
The radio. Anyway, doesn't matter.
the what's it called? The topic is on the topic of Valentine's Day, love, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, big big big. So, can you marry without your parents' approval?
Can I marry? Yes, I can.
Very, very true. That I can.
Wow, I wasn't expecting
So,
that.
wait,
Wow.
let me go first. I want to go first. Wow. Because I recently had this conversation and I would love my parents' approval. My perspective is, as you guys know, I have many parents.
He has one.
Yeah.
He has one set.
one
But
set.
there's fathers in the Lord, mothers in the Lord, mothers in arms,
Mothers in arms.
mothers in arms, fathers in arms, you know.
I bet.
What war are we fighting?
Listen, the kingdom of God suffered violence.
Violence.
Violence
Okay. Now you're just waffling.
Is that not what the
You're
Bible says?
waffling.
Is that not what the Bible says?
This is Bible out of context.
The
Stay
Bible
tuned.
said the kingdom of God suffered violence.
And they
So you-
and what they do?
The violence taken by force.
Force.
So you need mothers and fathers at arms.
It's arms, swords, and things.
You're going to
Walking,
HE double
walking.
hockey sticks.
Anyway,
There'll be
anyway.
violence in hell now. Is that not what the devil presides?
I will not know.
Amen.
Ejiro, don't let Pastor come and say that you are speaking heresy on my podcast, please. Please.
That is heresy. Blasphemy.
Speaking. Anyway, let me not digress.
Let's not even go-
Let me not digress.
We've turned it into something else. Happy.
Ejiro, oh God, you cannot focus.
Ejiro.
Oh God.
Ejiro.
All right.
We'll put you in timeout.
All right.
I know what the problem is. That's
It's the Jews.
anyway.
The problem is me. You acted. No.
Are you the drama?
Tell the truth. Is this not the most you've heard Sheon talk on this podcast? Before we start. Exactly.
Zoom in on his
So
face.
who is the one that's acting out of character now? I'll wait.
Gang, gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Exactly.
I've received composure.
Thank you.
You must have composure.
Composure,
This is what I've
lads.
been drinking,
So why would
I've
you
lost my train of thought.
why would you not why does it not matter if you have consent is what we're getting to. Why does it not matter if you don't have
I
consent
think,
from your parents?
well, it matters and it doesn't matter. I think obviously everybody wants consent, but in a situation where you know what you know and you're confident in what you believe in, the consent is the icing on the cake. It's,
Yeah.
This is true.
it's extra.
Is Jara?
Co-
PC?
is right. So because the conversation we had was about other
Who
people's
was this conversation with?
My girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
About other
I thought it
people's
was with somebody else. My bad.
no, other people's input and opinion. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's not as important as how we feel, what we believe, confirmation we've gotten, but at the same time, it's important input as well. And my perspective on it is that people having negative feedback on your relationship doesn't mean that your relationship is doomed or you shouldn't continue with that relationship. You know, I looked at it in the sense that, let's say you believe something, maybe Christianity, you believe, you have your faith, or it's a mass puzzle or something. You believe in something, and somebody else opposes that belief. If you're able to stand your ground and defend your position and successfully change their mind or defend your position, that's experience. That's something under your belt. The more you do that, the more confident you believe what you believe in.
Yeah.
So negative feedback from parents, blah blah blah. It's not negative. It's not bad. It's a obstacle that you have to overcome. And then once you overcome that obstacle, what you have, your relationship and your confirmation is even stronger than what it was before when no one opposed it, right? Oh, you're dating, da 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 da. Cool. You don't have to fight. And I mean, it might sound somehow because people want soft life, and I do as well, but there will be tribulations, there will be challenges. Weathering those storms make you stronger. I think that you can go ahead with your marriage without your parents' consent, but that is after you've done what's right.
Yeah.
You've tried. It's not like they say they don't want to, and then you say, "Well, fuck you," and you go on what you want to do. You have to be two wrongs don't make a right. If they're wrong or even if they're right and they have actual realistic reasons why they're cautious about your decision, you just have to change their mind or convince them. And after trying enough and they still don't want to, then at the end of the day, you still have to go with your conviction as opposed to what some human says.
Yeah, you really have to be careful with the way that you approach it. There's a lot of parents out there who want to have say in their kids' lives and how they move and what steps they take because they feel like they're keeping you from making a mistake. There's no parent out there that's going to say, oh, I see you with a good person. I don't want you to have this good person. I want you to go and ruin your life instead.
But here's the question.
I
I just have something to say that it's not a clapback or anything. It's like, but saying that they will see you with a good person and then not want to say that. More often than not, they don't know these people.
That's what I'm getting to.
You know,
Very true.
They see they don't. Anybody that says that will not know or think that that person is a good person. You're thinking it's a good person.
yeah.
They're seeing someone that they feel is not a good person for you.
Right.
So that's why I would say that nobody's gonna see a good person and say, you know what, I don't want that for my son. I don't want that for my daughter. Then we're gonna bring a bad person. The only thing is that your vision of a good person isn't their vision of a good person.
Right.
So that's why you have to be very, very careful because for you to agree with me and me and Sheon and say that, okay, maybe you are okay with not having that consent, you have to be 100% with yourself and with God.
Exactly.
If you're 100% with yourself and you're 100% with God, that's when you can then say, I have every piece of conviction I need with this person.
Yeah.
I would love your support, but God has already spoken to us.
Right.
God has already told us that we're supposed to be with each other or we're good for each other.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, I don't also believe that there's only one person in this world for you. If
I
God-
would agree.
Oh,
that's
very-
another topic, but I
very
agree.
true, yeah.
I agree. Because if that was the case, people wouldn't get remarried after their spouse died. If there was only one person for you in this world.
Well, that could also just be time periods. And
I don't think
what
it's
God
time
has for
periods.
you
I
in your
think
life.
a lot of things
I think you have
affect it.
multiple soulmates in this world, and you come together based on. I don't want to say circumstance.
Will
but
you say it's multiple soulmates or that it works out for it could work out for each of these people if this was different or that was it. There's a possibility that it could work out for each of these people. Not that they're all your soulmates, because I don't think they're all your soulmates.
Okay.
So
I'll
for
use-
example, let's say you meet someone, everything's perfect, but the timing is wrong.
Is it only possible to marry your soulmate?
It's possible to marry wrong.
Or not necessarily marry wrong, but marry your soulmates. Because everybody's always hung up on this soulmate thing. And I
Explain.
like how do you know that someone is your soulmate?
You feel it.
Is it a feeling?
You
a
can
feeling.
feel it, but that doesn't mean that person is your soulmate. It
it's a
could be the moment that you are in your life.
It's a conviction that it's hard to explain.
Yeah. I don't think feeling is the appropriate word.
I don't think feeling is the appropriate word. It's an unexplained coming together of, I don't want to say circumstances or perfect. This is how I would describe it in my mind.
Yeah.
It is when the perfect situation and the perfect thing and everything just cosmically aligns to where everything that you essentially believe or everything that would bring you all together brings you together. I personally believe that my current partner is my soulmate for multiple
But that's
reasons.
a belief.
But these are reasons.
At the end of the day, it's a belief.
It's a belief and it's an understanding, because in every situation, every obstacle that we faced together as a couple, we have been able to not only grow together, but have provided exactly what the other person needed in that situation.
Do you think that would
So
be possible with someone else?
So yeah, because
I think it
the
would
way
be
that I want you to think about it
different
is
with
that
somebody else.
perfection? Do you believe that what you have is perfection?
It's not, nothing's ever perfect.
Exactly. So that's why, like, that whole realm of soulmates.
But soulmate doesn't
I
mean
believe
perfection.
I believe it to a certain extent, but at the same time, I'm like, you can. There's many people, like, on the religious viewpoint of it, we talk about what we call perfect will, and then we talk about permissive will. 90% of marriages are deemed permissive will. Is that God is allowing, or not necessarily allowing, but sanctioning your marriage or union. It's very, very, very rare
That is
that you will
perfect
have perfect will, where this is who God meant for you from the beginning of time. You know what I mean? You might have even met your perfect will 20 years ago. You've dashed her.
You have useless. You have God.
If we take it out of the religious standpoint and just look at it, right? Like I said, I believe she is my soulmate in the terms of, in every situation that we have been through in the aspects of our relationship, we have both been able to be the perfect complement for each other. For those who know me, I am a very emotional person. She's extremely logical. So in moments where I'm being overly emotional, she's the logic voice in my head that's like, hey, yo, you might need to look at this a different way. Whereas sometimes, because she's so logical, there are situations where she's just looking at the logical situation like, that doesn't necessarily feel right, just because it might make sense as the right thing to do. Emotionally, that's not from that's
Y'all
not
are
from a good
actually the
standpoint.
opposite of most relationships.
We are. We're the opposite. We say all the time. Usually it's the girl that's the emotional one. I'm the emotional one in my relationship, and I know that. And I think we work and complement each other in such a way that the only way this works, especially with the different situations that we've seen, is specifically because of our, I don't want to say it's unfailing love, but it's the understanding of
Continue.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
It's the commitment to each other, to understand and be there for each other. So I personally believe in soulmates. I personally believe that each person has multiple soulmates. I just believe that based on different circumstances that happen in your life, different people fit better at different times.
I think
This can go very left, because people can be like, "Oh, so you think that you can just marry multiple people? And what if you meet your second soulmate while you're with your first soulmate?"
That's my qualm with the multiple soulmates.
Okay.
That, you're saying at this point, there's a person that I've chosen to be with, and other options. So we can divorce and I can move to option 2.
That's why she's keeping secret accounts.
That's why she has it to go by, so that she can
I'm done. What is wrong with these people? Why am I here?
You know why you're here.
But no, I get what you're saying, but that's really not the case. But as far as the actual question, I think it's absolutely possible to go and be with somebody without your parents' approval. Specifically because, let's be real, your parents aren't the one that's going to live with them. You're
You'll
not.
find out when you wake up beside her. Are you the one that's going to deal with her?
Exactly.
Will she slap you and you have to turn the other cheek? I don't know.
So your parents, I don't know where that was going, but okay.
I'm not sure.
But your parents don't have to deal with them, and also the only person who really knows your spouse is really you. Now, there's this saying that Africans love to use: "What an elder can see sitting down, you as a child cannot see standing on the tallest Iroko tree."
Is that
Cue
so?
Nigerian piano. Bang, bang, bang. Listen, I'm a personal believer that yes, there are some things that elders can tell you that can give insight to potential future issues. However, we all know that their worldview is extremely different to ours. Their past experiences are completely different to ours, which leads me to another thing where I actually was saying it on my Instagram. Was either yesterday or the day before. A lot of these people don't even really like their spouses. They got married for one of three reasons: coercion or force. Their family was like, oh, so essentially it was coercion. The other one was money, so for financial stability. And then one of the other things, I forgot what the third one was: status. Status and pressure. So coercion, money, status, and pressure. A lot of Nigerian uncles and aunties got married for those reasons because in Nigeria, as a society, the women really aren't respected unless they're married.
Sometimes it might just even be need. Some people get
Just the
married
need for
very
it.
quickly because they need to do something and they need papers and they need this and they
Yeah.
need that. A lot of things. But I think the thing that I would speak to, especially to parents, is that you have to always, compassion is in it, and the compassion comes here. You have to think about it this way. If this ends up going wrong, you're going to tell your child that it was their fault anyways.
No, move your mic closer.
No, I can hear
Oh,
myself.
you can hear? Oh, man.
But they're gonna tell you're gonna tell your child that no, this is your fault. You chose wrongly, even though you're the one that coerced your child into this option, into this selection, into not marry who they wanted to marry in the first place. You're not gonna let your son or daughter say that, oh, mom, dad, this is your fault because you forced me to marry this
right,
person.
because if everything come on cast now,
It's
still the child's
You're
fault.
not gonna take responsibility for that because you're never gonna want to say that I was the one that forced you to marry this person.
Yeah.
So why don't you just take your hands off of it now and let them, if they're gonna make a mistake, let that mistake be their own.
Exactly. Because
Rather
at the
than
end of the
them
day,
to-
they'll carry themselves.
Rather than them blame you, like, okay, you force your child to marry this person now. It all goes tits up. Excuse my French. They hate you for the rest of their lives. They take your grandchildren away from you, never see your grandchildren again. Would you rather have that?
But I don't think a lot of parents think that far.
That's the thing. You have to think that far.
They
You have
don't.
to think about the fact that
I
maybe
think they
what you
do,
want for
though.
your child might not be the right thing.
Even on top of
You
it,
have to.
some parents are just wicked. Some parents will know that, they'll know that, oh, well, we don't like this person. And they'll intentionally try to make that person suffer. And this is another gripe I have with our culture, where we essentially expect our children to endure versus actually having boundaries. And then, like, especially
Our culture very, very much it very, very much rewards
obedience.
suffer. No, it's like suffer Olympics.
Ooh,
It's like,
that's
oh,
a
I
good way to
suffered
put
the most. Well, look at me. I'm the one that did the most suffering. Like,
Yeah.
why must that be the case? I had situations with elders in our community where they're like, oh, I had to drive 5 hours to work. Why? And then they'll be bragging about when they were kids. Oh, I had to walk 15 miles to work or to school. So I must do that now because you did it.
They make things just more difficult than they should be. And especially when it comes to relationships, this is my advice to any parent watching the podcast, Nigerian parents specifically. Well, let's be real, any parent. When it comes to relationships, be there to support your child, even if they make a mistake. Because at the end of the day, you've lived your life, you've made your decisions. Don't vest your past experiences and your past issues on your children. Parents, support your kids. Like, even if the issue, even if you feel like, oh, you know best and it's you're the one that, like, you're the one that's supposed to protect your children, don't be so overprotective that you essentially push your children away from you. because of, oh, I don't like this person, I don't think they should marry them. Like,
I think that first of all, I think that we should give them some kudos for some of them, for still having successful marriages, even with the circumstances that they had to.
successful,
Some of them. That's why I said some.
successful or tolerant.
Successful. There's a lot of them are tolerant. I think the majority of them are
The
tolerant.
majority of them are tolerant.
But there's the successful
At this
ones.
point, at this point, they know that their market will not sell if they were to be free. So
It's too late now.
it's too late.
No, but like I think the successful ones deserve it. Even the tolerant ones. Let's be honest, because love is not enough to sustain a marriage.
It's not.
So the fact that you are able
Love
to
is not enough.
baby.
I don't really.
Come to me, my love.
I don't really cast, or I don't really fight against people who are having tolerant marriages, because with how much we are in love with our partners, you never know.
You really,
That's true.
You
You really never know. I mean, you can only pray. You can only ask for God's guidance and all that stuff to make sure that you are okay. But like,
I disagree. Here's why. I
What part do you
disagree.
disagree with?
I disagree with that you can pray for God's guidance. No. I think there are certain things at the core of your partner that you have to like. For instance, you have to like your partner as a friend.
Okay.
As a common human being, you have to like your partner.
Before you continue, do you agree that there are things about your partner that you will not like?
Yes, I agree, 100%. But for instance, like I said, I use my relationship because I don't like talking about other people's. At the core of our relationship, we like each other as people. We like each other at our core as friends. So that even in the situations where I don't love you, because of that like I have for you, I'm still going to talk to you. A lot of Nigerian marriages that I observe don't really have that core friendship. They don't really like each other as people.
I mean,
but friendships is shown differently with each person.
it's shown different, but also we've already established the circumstances that a lot of them got married in.
Yeah.
So we can't actually blame them for not developing that part based on the circumstances that were surrounding their marriage in the first place.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is true as well. I mean,
Sorry, before you continue.
I don't have anything to say.
Sorry. But yeah, I feel I'm not defending our parents or their generation, but I think that I think that it's good in even the worst situations that you describe of their relationship or their marriage. You can still pick out a lot of good from that, and the fact that what they can see sitting down, you can't see on a tree, doesn't negate that they are seeing something sitting down that you still cannot see. You might see more, you might see better, you might see some stuff that they don't see, but there's still things that they do see on that seat that you still can't see.
I
And it's
think-
all back to experience
And if
and
we want to
life,
talk about
life experience.
if we want to talk about that proverb, I actually think it's kind of stupid.
It's
but wait,
funny.
Ejiro, there's some things that
I think it's stupid.
Yeah,
If
there's
you're
a way
sitting
that you have
down,
to think
how
about
can
it.
you tell me that you cannot see more? You
It's
can
not,
see
it's,
more?
not, it's not physical, John.
what I was trying to say though is that you have to also remember sometimes that they were in the shoes that you're in right now at some point with their parents. Most likely, whether they gave in or they didn't give in to the pressures or blah blah blah, they also had to deal with their parents telling them that they're not mature enough and
true.
they're not smart enough and they're not all these things.
So they're perpetuating the same crimes.
They are.
So we
But
should be okay with that.
I'm not saying
Let's-
that you should be
not
okay
that you
with
should
it.
be okay with
I'm
it.
saying that you should acknowledge it. There's a difference between acknowledging something and being okay with it. You can acknowledge someone and make your decisions going forward and treat that person with a different kind of wisdom they're not even thinking that you have.
Okay.
Than saying, "Oh, I'm just laying down for you to do whatever you want." No,
So
it's not
then
laying
let
down.
me counter that and ask another question. If you acknowledge it, are you right for just going about your decision the way you want to go about your decision, or do you challenge that actual behavior?
The way that I'm talking about it is that you're seeing more sympathy in them and what they're doing, but you're still gonna make your decision for yourself because you need to do what's best for
That's
yourself.
not what I'm asking. I'm asking that because
I'm just saying what I was
right.
saying.
I understand what you were saying completely, but what I changed the question where it's like, just because you acknowledge and you might feel sorry and you might feel sympathy because they unfortunately were in that same situation, that's why they're acting this way. Do you then? I don't want to say coddle them, but do you then divert your actions versus facing the issue head on
So-
and allowing them to see that what you're doing is exactly what you've experienced and it's wrong.
So I think that your response to acknowledging what they've been through is different from your action in your own life moving forward.
Okay.
So I've acknowledged that. You've been through this, let's call it trauma, and because of that trauma, you're the way you are. Because of that, I will not bring up that trauma. I will not torment you with that memory. I will not
Disregard it or reduce it
disregard
or-
reduce it. But I still have a decision to make about my life. And as much as I love you and you've been through what you've been through doesn't affect my future, what I'm going to do. So your response to their acknowledging it is it's between you and them. Your action is different because that has nothing to do with them. Their input is welcome and could or could not change your mind or sway you one way or the other or affect what you do. But then you still have to.
Because
You
they're gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, this child doesn't have any,
Respect.
not even just respect, but
You don't have
gratitude.
respect.
You don't have gratitude for what I've been through for you. You don't have you don't understand what you have, and
You're deemed ungrateful.
Yeah, exactly. You're ungrateful. You don't know how lucky you are to even have me to tell you these things. You know, that's how they're feeling inside.
Right.
You know, like this child is just not helping himself. That's how they feel, genuinely.
Right.
But you also know that, okay, you're feeling this way because of what you've been through, but the world changes. Circumstances change. What you went through in the past, I take that and I learn from that, but I still have to make my decisions for myself. If I make a mistake, it's on me.
Do we become a part of the problem when we don't make them acknowledge their trauma?
No. I don't
I
think
think
so.
that's for every person to figure out for themselves. I'm not the kind of person that's going to be digging up my parents' trauma.
I'm not talking about digging up their trauma. What I'm saying is, do we become, as first generation, do we become a part of the problem?
What do you mean part of the problem?
So, like, how God willing, our grandchildren will live to our parents will live to their ripe old age,
Yeah.
right? And because they've done it to you, they could essentially do what they're doing now to your kids when it comes their time to get married. But because you didn't because you didn't, I don't want to say, because you didn't necessarily face the issue head on, and you just, okay, fine, I accept your trauma, I make my decision one way. Now that same issue is manifesting down the line.
So, first thing is,
Or do we not, I'm sorry, to add to that, or do you also now, because you didn't face that situation and let them know that you're acting this way because of said trauma, do we rob them of an opportunity to grow?
so that second part I agree with, mostly because you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, the opportunity to correct the wrong. The second thing is, do they see that as a wrong? Also, it's indicative because we said earlier that you said about that they were in the same situation that
we are in with their parents.
With their
telling
parents,
them.
right? So their parents probably did what they did and married how they married, gave it to them. They did what their parents did and accepted that and got married. Now
some of them
we're
didn't.
changing.
Some of them
Yeah, it's true.
My mom was. Not a lot of people know. My mom was Muslim first.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
My mom's dad was completely against their marriage. So sometimes when I hear different things, I don't cast my dad on there. I don't like to do that. But sometimes when I hear different advice from my dad, I'm like, shoot,
Bro.
with younger you have done this.
But do you say that?
Not really. I don't.
So this is why I'm saying,
But is
are
it
we a part of?
necessary to say though?
I think it is, and this is why I think it is.
So, before, let me finish my point first.
To me, it's more necessary for me to know it's in my mind. I don't really have to say everything to my parents. I can know it and take my actions accordingly. I don't need to prove anything to them.
I completely agree with everything. You don't have to say everything you know. You don't have to say everything you see. That's how I am. But also, back to the point was the same way they did what their parents did is the same way our kids would do what we're doing or similar. In the sense that we're fighting what's the norm.
The norm
to
is,
them.
yeah.
But let's not also lose track of the fact that our kids will most likely fight what we think is
we're-
normal.
even what we're doing now.
Let's prepare for that battle as
But
well.
you know what I think the difference between us and our parents is?
What's that?
We are more ingrained in an aptitude for change.
What? Well, let me ask you this, and I know the answer, but why is that?
We are, okay, take this with a grain of salt, or not even a grain of salt. Take this how you want it, because I frankly don't care.
Ooh.
I think our generation are far better people than the generation before us,
Interesting.
because we are more aware of how certain situations are affecting us, and we're willing to do the work to go through that change. Example, if you look at therapy, our generation is the most that goes to therapy,
Probably.
because we now understand that how things that our parents may have viewed as just, well, that's just regular life, for us has affected us. So now when we have kids, we're a lot more cognizant of how our decisions and our mannerisms impact our kids.
So
I have
sorry.
two things on that.
Okay, no, go.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
When it comes to the therapy part, right? I've seen a lot of people weaponize therapy for their own well-being,
I
or
can
for
agree
their
with that.
own personal gain.
I
should
can agree
say.
with that.
So yes, there's a lot of people out here getting therapy, but are they actually getting therapy?
I can agree with that.
That's number one.
Sorry,
Number,
before you continue, I feel like therapists need therapy as well. I'm just saying.
Huh?
I feel like therapists need therapy as well.
it's not even about the therapist. I'm talking about the people themselves.
No, I'm sorry.
And
I'm
I've
just
seen
saying.
people use like
I'm in therapy as an excuse.
not even just I'm in therapy, that definitely, but like using words that we see as emotional growth these days to make excuses for the things and the bad decisions that they're making in
But
their
you
lives.
can tell when somebody like that is bullshit. You can tell. You
There's
can
a-
tell.
There's a lot of bullshit.
But what do you do? What do you do when someone believes they're bullshit?
That's on them.
And they do believe it. So you now see all these people. Truthfully, I'll even say that I believe that 50% of people out there believe their own BS.
Oh,
50% of people out there.
Facts.
So these 50% of people are our generation.
I can see that.
So that's why it's kind of like, yes, I believe that. But at the same time, like, what we're dealing with right now, in 20 years, 30 years, when we have our kids and they're dealing with what they're dealing with, it's going to be, I'm telling you, there's a big percentage, there's a big chance that you might become your parent.
I think that's facts. Not big
There's
chance.
a
You will.
big chance because what you are accepting now, because you see, because this is what we grew up in, we're okay with this, we're fine with it. I mean, there's so many things that are being changed in schools, things that are being taught to kids that are being taught now.
Just to jump
they're
on-
not being taught then. I don't want to go into details,
Let's go into details,
but
because
there's things that are being taught now that haven't been that weren't even
that
taught when we
weren't
were coming
allowed
up.
to be taught.
You
I get
know,
what you're saying.
so there's things that you're gonna have to deal with your kids that your parents never even have to deal with when it comes to you.
I agree.
That might change you to almost be exactly like them, because you might get to a point that you're like, I can't allow my child to do this. I need to put my foot down.
I think a good example is the the pronouns that people want to identify.
I don't want to
as.
go there.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to go there.
As you can see, you're on the 1/4 podcast now.
He's by himself. Like, no.
Nah,
We're not
but
going down that path.
I just said that. As a, but what I was jump on what you're saying in the sense that, and see this how you take it how you do. But like, we're lucky to be the generation born in the 90s that crossed over the millennia. And we happen to be the generation of all this change and technology. And that's really what's helped us be the way we are and so different from our parents, which were just in
And
that
it's changing
same,
even more. Have you seen
and it keeps
ChatGPT?
changing. Chat?
Have you seen ChatGPT and the way that
ChatGPT.
Oh.
Eh?
Explain.
it's AI. It's AI
Basically
that can.
AI. You
This
can do-
AI has
Oh, that
solved.
basically like solves, can type papers, all that stuff.
Like your
Yes,
resume, your
it's
interview.
conversational. It answers your question.
does
in
everything.
almost, but you have to know how to ask the question in the first
Yeah.
place. But it answers your questions with relevant, pertinent, correct 90% of the time information. So our kids in the future aren't going to learn the same way that we learned.
Right.
To them, it's going to be a whole, how are you going to utilize AI to move society forward? They might not have to go and learn all the little...
We're heading towards iRobots.
Heading towards there's no need for university. There's no need for school.
I can believe that. I believe school is going to be irrelevant in a couple of years.
I don't know. I still feel like school. You're going to need school. You're still
How
gonna
would
need to
you
learn.
deal
I think
with?
to
How would you deal
I
with
think
it?
high school maybe.
Even
but
high
like,
school.
I think high school maybe, but
People
then unless
get-
you're going into like a specialized trade, i.e., like medicine,
You're still going to need... You want
architecture.
Ejiro,
to
even high
know
school.
why you're going to need school.
Why?
Why?
This is why you're going to need school. For you to even be able to use AI, use chat GPT, you have to know your ABC. You have to know how to spell.
I'm not-
You have to
that's-
know
that's
English.
why-
School
Yeah,
and education
That's
are
why I said
different.
High school.
School and
I said
education
you
are
probably
different.
it's going to getting to a point where for
Are you
most
talking about
jobs-
university?
Yeah, for most jobs, you're going
University,
to
for
go
sure.
all the way to like maybe high school and then stop. Everything after high school is semantics.
Baba, they
It
will sit
depends on
down
what
at
you're
home,
doing.
get homeschooled, do their GED, and they're done.
There's
they're
some,
done.
it depends on it depends what you're going into, because
That's what I
there's
said.
gonna be trades out there that you're still going to need to learn a lot of maths.
Is that not what I just said?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't hear you well.
I said like unless you're going to like a specialized skill like a
okay.
doctor, engineer, or something that requires
yeah.
extensive training.
Yeah.
But people who want to essentially go to cosmetology school, they'll probably be learning on YouTube after they finish high school.
Yeah.
I think
Even before
I think right now most
right now,
jobs
some don't.
you just train on the job.
Yeah.
But
Just don't do someone's. Don't say that you don't want to go to cosmetology school. You go and do somebody's wedding makeup, and they be looking like boo boo
Hi.
the
Ava, is you
I just saw a picture on Instagram of this lady who was just looking like Ojuju. Like the flash was on, her face was one color, her neck was another color, and her ears were a different
honestly,
color.
I feel bad for women, especially when they do this excessive makeup and you, like you said, the flash is in your face, but your neck is telling me a
Listen,
different story.
Something's different.
It looks like I just need to take a cloth and
Anyway,
There's a lot of topics in this.
like I said, parents just be there to support your kids.
Yeah.
But speaking of support, we have an "Am I the asshole?"
I'm as an asshole.
bye. The asshole.
Well, we become French in this
Well, we
segment.
got French and Italian because I don't know why we're doing this. Asshole. Continue.
Am I the asshole for not letting our daughter move back home?
Pause.
Okay.
What?
So I don't know what just happened.
I had to
but
process what you said.
my husband and I have 3 children, 25 female, 16 male, 13 female. Our oldest moved out 3 years ago, and her and her boyfriend got an apartment. They were together 4 years before that, so it wasn't like she ran off with some guy she just met. We supported her decision. She was old enough and working full time. The issue is rent in our area has more than doubled on average since. Their landlord raised their rent 40% in the span of 3 months. That landlord, you're a bastard.
Wow.
So that's
You're
just
a bastard. 40%
Yeah.
in 3 months?
nah.
Bastard.
Anyway.
Bastard behavior.
Focus.
Bloody.
Fuck you, bloody. Bloody.
You are fucking, you fucking, you bloody, fuck you bloody, bastard bitch, fuck you, bloody, fuck you bloody, fucking mother bloody, fuck bitch, you bloody, fuck you.
If you know, you know.
Continue, big.
And they couldn't afford to stay there anymore. The issue is they weren't swimming in cash before that. They don't really have enough for first, last, and security with the market. Not that there's much to.
Guys lost.
No, the message was not making sense.
Cause lost.
They
Anyway.
don't really have enough for first, last, and security with the market. Not that there's much to it, but anyway, there's much to, but anyway, in their price range. That didn't make sense,
yeah.
but we leave it.
We understand. Continue.
Their plan was to move in with her boyfriend's parents for a few months while they figured stuff out and saved up, but they won't let her come with. Yay. So they proposed an idea. She'd move back in with us, him with his parents, and they'd save up and be gone in 6 months tops. The issue is me and my husband don't feel that that's appropriate. She's an adult now, and she needs to learn to take care of herself, not relying on handouts from her parents. She offered to pay rent, but we would only do that if she agreed to pay the market average plus her share of utilities, which would mean she couldn't save up like she wants to, because we aren't doing that. She's been forced to share a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 other people, some of whom she finds sketchy. I feel for her, but I still think it's her responsibility. At this point, she doesn't call much anymore, and I'm worried this may have impacted our relationship.
I mean, if you're gonna
Is the
ask
person the asshole?
if you're gonna ask your child to pay rent, at least divide it by the people in the house. Say that you pay market
Market
rates
value. That's
the whole house.
That's
You're,
Average
you're-
market
you're
value.
telling your child to pay your mortgage.
I think you're the asshole for that reason.
I think
But
you're the asshole for making your 23-year-old child pay for that.
and the thing is, kind of linked to what we were just talking about. Our parents have raised us where they would take care of you even after you're an adult. So I think this is a white American.
I
has
don't
to
know
be.
It's simple. Sorry,
because
because
I actually had this like a similar conversation with someone recently when I was like, if you're gonna be living in your parents' house, and they want you to live in your house because in this situation they don't want them to leave. You know, they want them to be under the house, take care of them.
yeah,
They have no right to ask you to pay a single dime
to
of
pay
rent. And
rent,
as soon
yeah.
as they say that,
red flag.
leave.
I feel
Red
that.
flag.
Go out and find your own. Because why would you be paying rent and not even have the freedom and the peace of mind to do what you
Yeah.
want to do in your house?
It's even counterintuitive because I'm paying rent now, and the purpose was to save up to get. So where am I saving?
That's exactly why I think it's the parents are assholes. Personally, first of all, the child is 23. Yes, she's an adult. Yes, she's responsible. But let's be real. At 23, you're barely making enough. You're barely making
Ends
anything.
are
on
not
what you
even
do.
ends are not even meeting.
Depends on where you're. Even at that point,
Depends on anything.
You're still
Except
you're
you're-
still trying to figure out life.
Yeah.
This child came to you and asked, Can I stay with you for 6 months? You're still going to be paying the same bills for those 6 months. So why don't you give your child an advantage? Me and my girlfriend have talked about this. When or if in the eventuality that we do have kids, we're not forcing our kids to move out. At a certain age, they're gonna get their freedom, of course, with some boundaries of like, okay, you're not coming into my house at 3-4 o'clock in the morning on some loud stuff. At least be respectful. But at some age, you're going to have your freedom to do what you want within reason. But like, I'm not going to cut or set up my child to the point where if they need help, they can't come to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make my child pay me to help them. If you want to help around with the bills, I can tell you, okay, if you're staying with me, help out with this bill. You don't have to pay me rent. You're staying here for free. Help out with this bill because this increased because you're living here. Outside of that, I'm not going to charge you fair market value rent. Are you serious?
If my child is at the age of 23, though, we have to have some tough conversations about what your plans are and how you're going to do it. And when I see you deviating from those plans,
Then we have an issue.
then we have a problem because you're not going to live in this house, say that you're working towards something, or let's say you're trying to get your degree and you are quitting on that degree, or you're living in my house for free.
Get a job.
No.
You have to go and do something else.
You need
then.
a plan.
You have to be sure of what you have to do, what you want to do, and you have to have determination in that thing and push forward. Maybe that's just, I'm calling myself a boomer, but like, that's how I dealt with myself. When I came to roadblocks, put your head down, push through it, do what you need to do. So that's not, especially if it's after college. If it's after college and you're still trying to figure out something, you're trying to find a job. You're not applying to jobs. I never see you applying to jobs. I only see you doing rubbish.
You gaming online.
We're gonna have a problem.
I mean, you can't even use gaming because some of these people on Twitch
making
are
money.
making millions. But
My
But
thing
then
is,
say
though,
that that's what you want to do and
make a good
chase
plan
it.
towards that. Yeah.
You know, don't just be gaming with your friends. Say that you want to be a professional gamer.
I'm just
You're
playing
an
FIFA.
Idiot.
that parent, I think that parent is absolutely an asshole because like they're trying
Well,
to.
let's specific. Why I think they're an asshole because they're making their daughter pay market value rent. I don't think they're an asshole for allowing her to move back in. I think that they need. I don't.
No,
want-
that's the point. Like, it's right. What they
Is
did,
the right-
their
is that
rights
the-
to allow the child to move in, but then to now charge them the average market value rent at that point. And this is real. If they're living in your house, if they're living in your house, they're not going to have the freedom that they would if they were living in their own house. So if I'm paying you that fair market value rent, that shit better come with all the freedom it comes with of paying rent.
in your parents' house. Cannot have that freedom.
So then, I beg.
Well, I think that as much as you want to walk around naked in your apartment because you're paying your rent,
I just got a new apartment.
Ari. See, the thing is, as soon as I got to college like this, and if my parents see this, you're learning now.
yeah, you're learning.
When I moved out of my parents' house, first year, I had to go back for the first summer. I said, okay, this is the last summer that you people will see me. As soon as I went for my second year of college and I got an apartment instead of a dorm,
Yeah, we moved in together. That was the
I said I'm
union.
never going back.
Never going back.
Never.
I've seen the lights.
And I know, truthfully, like, it's not that I don't like my parents or anything like that. I love my parents. It's about peace of mind. It's about being able to make decisions for yourself and not have someone in your ear.
You want to sleep till 9 o'clock. They are knocking on your door at 8. Why are you sleeping? You're sleeping the day away.
And when you're living in someone's house, like I'm living by myself, I have my own responsibilities for my house. But when you're living in someone's house, now you're cleaning up after other people. It's like
Go ahead, help me drop. Go ahead, help me.
so
run
many
errands.
extra responsibilities that you don't need. As soon as I got that inch of opportunity to, I said,
took
I'm
the whole yard.
never,
He said, he opened the door.
never coming back.
You know that Tom meme where he's sneaking out of the door.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. He said, yep.
I think I was lucky because like I left home very early.
You went to.
He went to go out Ukraine.
They shipped me out to war. I went to war
They sent him to war.
in the abroad, European abroad.
They sent him to Chernobyl.
The Black Sea.
The black side.
The blackest of the sea. Crimea.
Well, Crimea. Where they're shooting rockets now.
That's where you were. Wow.
That place
From the
is-
trenches.
Well, how does that feel now, knowing that Ukraine is having a war and you used to like live there?
that place is leveled.
To be
Which is another thing. That's kind of bold that all of a sudden we don't hear anything about Ukraine on the
No,
TV.
he's
Like
still here.
I mean, you still it's not as much as
it's not as
before.
much anymore.
But they
The thing
can't,
is,
they can't make a
they-
big deal out of every single bombing, every single shooting, every single.
I mean, the truth is, what's happening is still happening.
it's still happening.
Just not
it's
as,
like COVID. When COVID started,
Exactly.
this person died, this person died, that person died. When they started reaching millions of people dying, they say,
well,
how many will we
Everybody
say?
have died now.
They said everybody.
Everybody has died.
They just started, you know how they did us in graduation? They started rolling names.
Yeah.
If you see your name, congratulations.
Which one is you died? Which one is congratulations? Wow.
You move on to the next
plane. Persecuted. Persecuted.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Persecuted.
You can't use my slang.
That's his motto.
Can't use my slogan. What's wrong with you? If you persecute.
In the comments, just write persecute. Persecute.